Hello students, today we are going to discuss a very important topic, and the topic is teaching the mechanics of writing. Okay, so in this video we will cover certain points. The points are: number 1, writing skills; number 2, components of writing skills; number 3, improving writing skills; and the last one is process of writing. Okay, so let's start the video. So at the very outset, let us discuss writing skills. On the slide, I have written 2 points. What are the 2 points? Just have a look. Number 1, writing skills. Okay, it is an ability to clearly communicate ideas through writing. Okay, what is the second point? Give expression to our knowledge, ability, and ideas in written format. So from these 2 points, we can understand that writing skill is a sort of ability, okay, and that ability enables us to communicate our ideas, our concepts, our notions through writing. Getting the point? So that is why this writing skill is very important. What is the second point? It can give expression to our knowledge, ability, and ideas in written format. So without this skill, writing skill, it is not possible to express our knowledge, our ability, and ideas in written format. Getting the point? That is why this tool is very much important, and that is the point. This is the reason that we should all the time encourage our students to go through it, okay, clear-headedly. Otherwise, what will happen? The language skills, okay, language skills can never be improved or developed by the students. That is why this is the very important thing, that we should concentrate on the writing skill. Okay, now what is the next slide? In this slide, we are going to discuss the components of writing skills. What are the components of writing skills? Just have a look. Number 1, selection of the content. Number 2, planning, drafting, revising, editing. Okay. Number 3, neat and clean handwriting. Number 4, correct spelling. Okay. Number 5, selection of vocabulary, and the last one is grammar. So let us discuss one by one. What is the first component of writing skill? Selection of the content. So it is must that before going to write something, okay, as a writer, you must select the content. What content you are going to choose, it depends on you. Getting the point? Without selecting a particular content, it is not possible for a writer to write something. That is why it is one of the most important components of writing skills. What is the component? Selection of the content. Is that okay? For example, you are going to write an application. Okay, for example, you are going to write an essay. So writing an application, okay, writing an essay, these are certain contents. So beforehand you will have to select the content. Otherwise what will happen? You will never be able to concentrate on that particular thing that is you are going to write. Okay, getting the point? What is the second point? What is the second component? The second component is planning, drafting, revising, editing. Okay, so before starting anything, okay, I'm not talking about the writing skill. Before starting anything in your life, if planning is not there, then you cannot achieve the goal, or you cannot achieve success. That is why planning is necessary everywhere, and writing skill is also not an exception. So before writing something, you must plan first. Otherwise what will happen? You will be unable to achieve your goal, okay, or success in the field of writing. What is the second sub point? Drafting means to select and bring them somewhere for a certain purpose. That means you will have to select certain words, you will have to select certain sentences so that you can express yourself. Getting the point? That is called drafting. And what is revising? Revising means after writing something, you will have to review, okay, that particular content you have already written is appropriate or not. Okay, you will have to revise, you will have to review. And what is the next one? Editing. Editing means where you can improve your writing. Okay, you will have to review, you will have to revise, you will have to put full stop in the proper place, you will have to put commas, semicolons, etc. So that is the part of what? Editing. So what is the second point? Planning, drafting, revising, and editing is also considered as what? A component of writing skills. Okay, now what is the third one? Neat and clean handwriting. So this is also a very important component. Without a neat and clean handwriting, we cannot say that the person is adept in what? Writing skill. So to be adept in what? Writing skill, his handwriting must be neat and clean. Okay, this is all about the third point. What is the next one? Correct spelling. If you write something, make sure that each and every word, okay, you are writing correctly. Spelling must be correct, otherwise, okay, what will happen? You will never be able to improve or work on your writing skill properly. Is that okay? Now what is the next one? Selection of vocabulary. Okay, make sure that you are choosing the right words, okay, to express your feelings and emotions. So selection of vocabulary is also one of the most important components of writing skills. Okay, what is the next one? Grammar. So while writing something, make sure that you are following the grammatical rules properly. Otherwise, what will happen? You will never be able to improve your writing skills. Is that okay? So all these components are the what? Writing skills. What are the components? Number one, selection of the content. Number two, planning, drafting, revising, editing. Number three, neat and clean handwriting. Number four, correct spelling. Number five, selection of vocabulary. And what is the last one? Grammar. Okay. Now we will discuss improving writing skills. Okay, what are the points? Just have a look. The first point is what? Use of picture stories. So to improve writing skills among your students, as a teacher, you can use certain picture stories. Getting the point? So when you use picture stories in front of your students, and when the students will look at those picture stories, immediately what will happen? They will be able to visualize. Okay, they will be able to create certain pictures in their mind. So it will help them to write, it will help them to get the ideas. Okay, that is why this is one of the most important tools. What is the tool to improve writing skill? Use of picture stories. Is that okay? Now what is the second one? Spelling. So under spelling, you will have to take care of certain things. Number one is dictation. Number two, regular word games. And number three, exposing students to homonyms, synonyms, antonyms, etc. So spelling is very important. If the spelling is not correct, okay, then what will happen? The student will never be able to improve writing skill. So it is mandatory. Now the question is, how will you improve spelling? Okay, these are the points. What are the points? Number one, dictation. As a teacher, okay, you must know how to dictate your students, how to dictate your students to write something correctly. Okay, number two, regular word games. So to motivate and encourage your students, you can organize certain competitions. Okay, for example, the competition of pronunciation, okay, the competitions of spelling words, so that the students get attracted and they can get platform to improve their spelling. Getting the point? What is the last one under spelling? Exposing students to homonyms, synonyms, and antonyms, etc. So as a teacher, you will have to play a very prominent role. You will have to make them understand what homonyms are, what synonyms are, what antonyms are, etc. Getting the point? You will have to make them understand that homonyms are the two or more words having the same spelling and pronunciation, but different meanings and origin. For example, the word address. Okay, somewhere we can say address means to talk to someone. For example, the prime minister will address to the nation tomorrow. Okay, and somewhere it means location. If I ask someone what is your address, that means I am asking about his location. So this is an example of what? Homonyms. Now what is synonyms? Synonyms means words having the same meaning. Getting the point? For example, buy, purchase. Okay, if I say I bought an umbrella yesterday, okay, this sentence conveys the same meaning if I say I purchased an umbrella yesterday. So buy, purchase, these are example of what? Synonyms. And antonyms, we know antonyms means the opposite words. For example, simple, complex, high, low, etc. Getting the point? So this is one of the most important tool to improve writing skill. What is the tool? Spelling. Is that okay? Now what is the next one? Translation. So as a teacher you will have to play the role of a motivator, isn't it? So to play the role of a motivator you can use your mother tongue. Okay, for example, in mother tongue you ask your students to write certain sentences, and after that you ask your students to translate them. So in this way what will happen, they will get the idea properly. So this translation is also one of the most important tools to improve writing skill. Getting the point? So what is the next one? Writing letters, formal and informal. So as a teacher you will have to encourage your students to write letters, because letter writing is also very important what activity, so that the students can get an opportunity to improve their writing skills, and you'll have to make them understand different types of letters. Okay, for example, formal letters and informal letters. You'll have to make the difference in front of your students. What is the next one? Notice writing. So notice writing is also very important. Okay, what is the content, what is the format, everything as a teacher you will have to make your students understand. Notice writing is also an important tool to improve what? Writing skill. Apart from this, what is the last one? Paragraph writing, essay writing, etc. So to encourage your students, okay, to improve their writing skills, you can introduce these things, paragraph writing, essay writing, along with their proper format. Is that okay? So this is all about the tools, how you can encourage your students to what? Improve their writing skills. Now we'll discuss the process of writing. Okay, what are the points? Just have a look. Number one is thinking and generating ideas. Number two, organizing information, selecting appropriate language, and finally writing. And number three, reviewing, rereading, rearranging, mistake correction, finding out left out, etc. And what is the last one? Editing. So let us discuss one by one. Number one, thinking and generating ideas. As I have already mentioned, that if you are going to write something, before writing you will have to think. Okay, before writing you will have to work on your ideas. Okay, what are you going to write? That is very important. You'll have to ask yourself, and when you get the ideas, when you are able to generate those ideas, after that you start writing. Okay, this is the first process of writing. Okay, second one, organizing information, selecting appropriate language, and finally writing. Okay, it is not that only you are able to gather information. After gathering information, okay, you need to learn how to organize them, and after that what happened, you'll have to select appropriate language, okay, before writing, and after that you are allowed to write finally. Okay, this is the second process of writing something. Is it okay? Now what is the third process? The third process is related to reviewing, rereading, rearranging, mistake correction, finding out left out, etc. So after finished writing, okay, particular thing, you will have to review, you will have to reread, you will have to rearrange. Okay, you will have to correct the mistakes, you will have to find out all these things that is left out. Okay, this is also a process of what? Writing. And what is the last one? Editing. Editing means you will have to recheck that where you are, in a sense we can say, not using full stops. If somewhere you are not using full stop, you will have to put the full stops. If somewhere you are not using punctuations, if somewhere you are not using semicolons, colons, okay, commas, then you will have to work on all these things. That is the editing part. Getting the point? And also make sure that the spellings are correct. Also make sure that you are using the bold letters, you are using the small letters accordingly. Okay, this is under the editing part. Is that okay? Also make sure that the grammar is okay. Okay, that is under the editing part. So this is the process. Okay, last process of writing. What are the processes? The first one, thinking and generating ideas. Number two, organizing information, selecting appropriate language, and finally writing. What is the third one? Reviewing, rereading, rearranging, mistake correction, finding out, left out, etc. And lastly, editing. Okay, hope you understood. Thank you. Keep learning.